All right, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Lobby Calls.
Sorry, go ahead.
Asshole McGee. All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Lobby Call. Yes, we changed our clothes. We have a special guest, Ava Wong. Woo! She's a dope production designer. She's did PD. That stands for production designer, if you didn't know. PD for Ty Dolla $ign, Masego, Money Long, K Tronada. She did the River Runs Through showcase summer 2021. Huh? Yeah.
I just did the Maisie Willen
Talking to the
for CFDA.
There we go.
Talk your shit, man.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, that was
Say
random.
word.
Yeah.
But I did that shit.
I'll fuck with that. And Meg Thee Stallion, ETC. The list goes on. I'll let her introduce her own self. But just, who is Ava Wong?
Listen, I'm just a girl that was unemployed after grad school, and then somebody asked me, did I want $150? Oh, he's gonna fix my microphone. Yeah, okay, hello. I can't be bothered to sit up straight, so you just have to bring the microphone closer to me.
It's all good.
But no, deadass, I was unemployed after grad school, and somebody was like, "You want $150 cash to go help PA on the scene?" I'm like, "What's PAing?" And I went and I got coffee and picked up trash, and then I saw this art department. They were struggle busing. I was like, damn, I could do that shit so much better. These fools did not know how to paint. I was like, y'all shit all gloopy. It's 3 columns. Why is it taking you 6 hours to paint? I don't understand.
I mean,
But yeah.
Yeah, man. So, wait, where'd you go to? You went to grad school, right? What'd you study?
Architecture. So I have a master's in architecture from SciArc downtown.
Oh, okay. You're official. Okay.
Yeah, it's cute. I did a speculative architecture program. So I learned way more about the kind of shit I do in production design than I ever learned about how to draw a bathroom, which I can do, by the way, but
okay, you're like said. I think said study architecture too, and it's just like
yeah. See, that's why we vibe, though.
Yeah, I'm like, oh snap. Okay.
But yeah.
So you got offered. You said somebody, hey, you wanna? Mm-hmm. And that's how you got into production design.
Yeah, I was looking for architecture jobs. I actually, and also just different kind of gigs you can get into the field. I did a little bit of interior design, fancy apartments in Hong Kong and shit. I did a little bit of I was working for an architect, actually a really good one that I love out here in LA, doing just remodels of little houses, little cool houses in Venice. I worked for Tesla for a second.
Ooh.
It was a situation. Yeah, I did a bunch of random stuff, but the PAing, I guess as I was doing it and I was I could do this shit better than them. Mm-hmm. I managed to con my way into my first music video, which I don't know how. Actually, I do know how.
Okay.
This was maybe my 3rd or 4th music video as a PA, and I was driving the talent van around all night.
For the viewers and listeners who don't know what a PA is.
Oh, a production assistant.
Okay.
So you bottom bitch. Are we allowed to curse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck. I do it all the time. It's fantastic.
Okay, chill. But yeah, you just bottom bitch. You do all the shit. You just you don't know what the fuck is going on. People just texting you and telling you to do shit. That's your life. So it was an overnight shoot. I was driving these people all around California. It's actually really cool. We shot on this insane mountain with I don't know. It was beautiful. It was for Dermot Kennedy, and I was in the music video van, which to this day I still can't believe they let me do this. They let me drive the commissioner around.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, dead ass. Let me drive the commissioner around all night. And we just got to chatting, because she had just moved to LA from the UK, and I was just telling her about my background and stuff like that. And when I had another friend who was a photographer at the time, she had gotten a tiny little budget from the Fader to do a little expose on her as a female artist. Mm-hmm. And then she was asking for female talent, and I was like, oh, hey, this commissioner lady that was so nice to me that gave me her email. I didn't know at the time that was probably most people wouldn't have the balls to do that. Mm-hmm. You a PA, who the fuck are you emailing the commissioner? Like, who the fuck are you? I just was so green. I didn't know that was not okay, probably. Mm-hmm. But I emailed her and she was super nice. And she came back and she's like, oh, like, I can't think of anybody in particular for that, but I do have like a Kali Uchis like music video coming up. And like, you know, do you want to be involved in that? And like it, you know, it ended up being like my first two situations as an art director were back to back. Mm-hmm. It was this Fader gig and then it was Kali Uchis.
Listen. That's what I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to be like that.
Green as shit. Didn't know nothing.
So like when you graduated from grad school, did you even have any inkling that you were going to be like? First off, for the viewers and listeners, explain what production design is, because I'm like, people are like, oh, what's production design? You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, to this day, I'm saying like even people in my industry don't know what the fuck I do.
Okay, what does it entail?
So imagine you're basically everything that's on screen. You're responsible for tying everything together to make it look a certain way. Okay. So if it's not the talent, if it's not the clothes or the hair and stuff, probably I brought it or I talked about it or we coordinated to make stuff look good. So that's a bunch of different things on different sets. Like sometimes I'm like building walls, which y'all have seen. Sometimes I'm like, you know, I got mad plants. Sometimes I rent a boat. That happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruh, Justin texted. He didn't even know me at the time. He emailed me.
I'm still upset about this shoot, yo.
Bro.
No, it was when we shot that. It was Lala, right?
Lollapalooza.
Yeah, we were shooting the Lala situation.
Okay.
And Sego wanted to shoot it on a boat. You know, and I think probably like in his mind, he's thinking like mega yacht. But like Sego's the kind of person who will decide that he wants to shoot an entire series, an entire concert on a mega yacht 36 hours before the shoot is to take place. You know what I'm saying? So like we get on this it's
a schooner.
It was cute.
Yo, we were on this dinky thing, and I had such a good time, but like when you're on a boat that tiny, all you feel is fucking waves. When you're trying to play keys, you're hitting all the fucking wrong notes because the waves keep pushing your ass. Dude, I almost fell off the fucking boat so many times, man. We sounded terrible. We played at least.
Did you have the overdub?
No, there was no.
I'm saying like overdub. You know how like okay you did it and then the next day okay let's play it for real.
No. We should have overdubbed.
Okay.
There was no time.
Yo,
like it was like that, man. We played 5 songs that none of us had ever heard with no rehearsals. It was like. You know, remember what like early Masego gigs were like? Where it's just like you kind of just like he'll just be like, hey, you trying to come play? And I'd be like, yeah, what we playing? And he'd be like, nah, don't worry about it. Just pull up. Or just be like, songs, click, and like that's it. And then you just pull up to the show and just play and pray, basically.
You said early?
you know what I mean?
6 months ago.
6 months ago, yeah. Pre-COVID Sego. Shout out to Seb, man. At least Sego listens to you, man. He don't listen to me. I just be out here trying to be the voice of reason with a dick look on my face. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. Proceed.
No, it's good. I'm so glad you popped off because I thought I was the only one.
Yeah, no. Bro, I don't even know. Yo, sometimes, man.
Yo, come on.
I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing here.
You just show up and you're like, "Aight, we doing this."
Yeah, man. You just gotta like just paralysis of analysis sometimes, man. Just be like, hey, you know, fuck it. We playing music, I guess.
All right,
exactly.
so you
dead ass, and I will never get over this. And I know he was just trying to be polite because he didn't realize he knew me. But Justin emailed me on my work email that I never check. I use my Gmail, but like I have this one that's like attached to my site that I just like never took off. But he emails me on that, and it's like Thursday night. He wants a boat on Tuesday. I said, "Excuse me, motherfucker, you want a boat on Tuesday? You gotta call me. It is 9 p.m. It is basically Friday. You gotta call me. You can't just find a boat that's big enough and you on a budget. How am I supposed to? I mean, it's fine. Yeah. We found a boat. I think it's cute.
It was cute.
It was cute.
It was cute. It was quaint.
Yeah.
It was like like I don't know, whatever like the boat whatever the boat version of a cottage is.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
We were playing a gig with a full. Well, first of all, half the boat was packed full of plants.
Hey,
the other half,
it looked exactly like the reference
it
photo.
looked fantastic. I'm not saying it looked bad. It looked really good.
And then, what's his name? The audio guy, backline guy?
Chip.
Yes, Chip. He said, you do your production design first, and then I'll lay my stuff. And I'm like, okay. And then he lays audio cables all over my production design. And I'm like, bro, why ain't you...
Shout out to Chip. Man.
Why ain't you...
We love Chip.
Why ain't you put that stuff down, and then I could cover it with moss? Yeah, no, man. No, not happening? Okay.
Good times, man.
Anyways, so what you do... So as a PD, pretty much you... Continue.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. I mean, like... sometimes I build sets. Sometimes I do, it's more like interior design where I got to 3D model everything and there's a longer process. And sometimes, you know, on some shoots, like, because I do a little bit of like lighting gags and stuff like that. Like sometimes I'm out here like running DMX lights, whatnot. Sometimes I do projectors. Like it all kind of just like depends on like the job and the vision. So it's like, it's a mix of like construction, lighting, 3D modeling, drafting, set decoration, props and stuff. Sometimes I'm going out to like, you know, all these like rental houses in LA and I'm like, cause like there's always like a mix in my head. I don't know that everybody works like this, but this is how I work. Like I have like a catalog in my head of like what every house has and also what the number is and where I need to go to get everything done for the price. So it's always like this game, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like producer, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, or I should say, for a TV show, what does a producer do? You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what a producer does, because I also do that.
Oh, there we go. No, but
he does everything, man.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Ava probably built this house. We don't know.
I did. You just don't know. I was here 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So we met Ava doing the production design at a live show. What we were talking about earlier. It was for what was that thing? It was a music festival. We were doing like an online live stream for a music festival, and that's where we met her there. And you know, I wanted to have people. Well, you know, I talk a lot. Anyway, we won't talk about that. But we have Ava here, and just to kind of like show. Instead of just having musicians all the time and producers here all the time on the show, there are other roles in the music industry that make music industry what it is. You know what I mean? So it's kind of have a different perspective other than just musicians and producers up here. So just have a better insight on the music industry. You know?
Holistic.
Yeah. There you go. So originally you're from the East Coast. You're from Maryland. How long have you been in LA?
God, like 7-8 years. It's
been
a minute.
Oh, you're official now.
I know. It's been a minute.
Hey.
Like, I moved here when I was 18. I was like, I like knew back then that this place was like kind of like too big and sprawling for me to really like get. But I left after 6 months. It was still life changing for those 6 months. I always knew I was going to come back. I went to Chicago for undergrad. I got like a Bachelor of Fine Arts. I moved back to DC and I bartended for a year or two. And I was like, all right, well, time to stop fucking around. Let me go do something.
Yeah.
And I applied to SciArc and I got in. And I feel incredibly lucky, honestly, because
you said SciArc?
Yeah, it's the Southern California Institute of Architecture.
Oh, okay.
But I feel incredibly lucky because I knew it conceptually, but I didn't think I really understood how weird that frickin' school is. Until after I had graduated and I looked at it, I'm like, what just happened?
Right.
3.5 years, I just learned the braziest shit ever. Like I'm saying, like,
are you utilizing what you learned in school
every day?
Okay.
Like in a way that I never could have imagined. Like your 3D modeling, your rendering. I do animation. I also edit. I've done posts for like documentaries. Yeah.
Oh, we need to talk more.
Hey, yeah. You know, like I do like all of the reason why I'm a good production designer and producer is because I understand post and also all of the dimensions that need to go into a thing, because I also like, you know, prior to production design, I did do a lot of 3D modeling and mock-ups and stuff like that for interior designers. And like all of that is all like you're setting up lights and cameras the same way that you would in real life. You're just doing it in a computer.
That's interesting.
That's like a concept that I wouldn't even. No one would really even think about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
It's a whole situation. Yeah. It's been interesting, like kind of like transitioning those things. Because I think what I realized. I'm gonna sit up now. I think what I realized over the years is like I really decided to take it seriously as a career when I realized that like what I wanted from architecture I was never gonna get. Like architecture.
What was it that you wanted? Just like more creativity, or
I wanted to be able to actually see the impact of my work. And architecture is like it's not shade. I love it, but it takes you like 50 years to be a promising young architect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I ain't got like a developer daddy. Like, that's not my life.
Right.
So this gave me a way to still build, like world build and like create stories and stuff, but in a way that I can actually see the impact of what I do. And I have more room to mess up. I have more control over what I do because it's a much smaller scale.
Right.
And then also like I actually get to like fail. Like because the projects are so small and you do so many, like if one isn't popping, like every single time, like it's a little bit different.
Right.
So that has always been incredibly rewarding. Plus I just like seeing shit get released. Like if you've been working on a building for 3, 4, 5, 10, the Sagrada Familia took what 500 years to finish, and they just finished that shit. Are they even done? I don't know. But I'm like, bro, I'm not waiting 500 years for my shit to get seen. I'm done.
No. I feel you.
Yeah, no, dude. We were just talking earlier about like how important that instant gratification is, and obviously when you're talking music or production in your case, it's like obviously it's not instant, but it's. I forgot what
it's more than 500 fucking years.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Like I don't know that I have the level of patience to even do what you do, you know, because like for me, like it takes me like I spent every day of the last 19 years like learning how to build a song, learning how to like compose all that stuff. So when I go into a studio, it might take me something like a minute to come up with something that could affect culture, you know, 6 months down the line. Or whatever. That's like. Yeah. That's probably my favorite part about this is I feel like all the work was kind of done already. And I mean now it's what we're learning is more like craft and how to market yourself and basically like sell your own shit. Like convince people that I'm worth your time and your attention and stuff like that.
Yeah. Definitely. That's definitely like a thing.
So he's impatient about like a 1 minute turnaround. I'm impatient. I'm like, I thought I was bad. I'm like, oh, 2 weeks? Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, man.
I'm kidding. I'm never no. 2 weeks is a perfect amount of time. I'm good.
I mean, yeah. So, how long have you been doing PD? Has it been? You said you moved out here 7 years ago, right?
It's actually only been like 3 years.
3?
Yeah.
Oh snap!
It's like 3. I think this is my 4th year doing it. I graduated in 2017. I want to say. Yeah, 2017. It was like half of 2017, 18, 19, 20, 20. Yeah, this is my 4th year.
What would you say are like the worst things about doing PD?
Money.
Money?
Dude, that's gotta just be an art thing, man. Yeah. Like there's no way to avoid it, man.
Right.
It's just like dude, I feel like if you wanna make a solid living doing anything artistic, it's gonna take like 30 years to get there, man. It's like the most right, at least like, you know, being artistic and making things that you enjoy making versus things that are like immediately accessible to a shit ton of people. Right. You know what I mean? It takes so long to get there.
Yeah, that's
I mean, like, there's different things that I could do. I recognize where I made my own life fucking hard.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I look down the barrel of my work and I know exactly what I did to myself. I know. I could have had way more money. I turned down a 6-figure job offer last year.
Oh, well,
but
okay.
I looked at that and I was like,
What was it about that like turned you off about it?
I think because even though this is so fucking painful in so many ways, like there's just nothing. I couldn't be doing anything else. The only thing I've ever done is chase my dreams, basically. And like this is the only thing I've ever wanted to do. Like, you know, not necessarily just production design, but like filmmaking, creating, like being an artist, like these kinds of things. Like, I think this is worth chasing, like putting everything into, like, not like dead ass. I probably only got 5 more years left in me before my body breakdown. But until those 5 years expire, like I'm in it.
Right.
Facts.
And then after that, I could go get myself a nice cushy 9 to 5 because everybody be like, oh, so you did all this stuff. Let me pay you nice now.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, I feel you. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think the relationship between PD for music and PD for visual media is?
Okay, so for production design for like narrative and TV and like stuff that's like less based around an artist's identity, usually I have a bit more work to do when it comes to crafting like a narrative. Like there's much more detail work. So like say you're designing somebody's bedroom in a movie, right? It's like, you know, a 10-year-old kid or something. I really got to understand like what that 10-year-old kid does in the script and all the things that he would have in his room. So like you're not just like going to IKEA and buying like a bedroom set because it all looks new, right? You got to be like, okay, here's the thing that his brother gave him from like 5 years ago. So he's got a beat up, you know, soccer ball, but also he's got this that like, you know, maybe his dad handed him down, so it's okay that it's a little bit old and retro looking. And then he's got like papers because he's like a boy, and then you got to like ball up socks and make it all dirty looking around the hamper, like you know, that kind of jazz.
Right.
So like there's a lot more of that where you're filling in a lot of details that like communicate things without you having to say so. Because if you don't do those things, then it looks off.
Inorganic.
You know?
Yeah.
Are you ever in a situation where you need to like sort of build a narrative because the like the backstory for whatever character for the set that you're designing hasn't been written, so you just have to like infer what that kid might be like?
Yeah.
So like you and the director have to work together constantly to make sure that things are like the vision is the same.
Yeah, and like every director is a little bit different. Like some directors really know what they want and they will just tell you. And like, you know, honestly, sometimes that gives me, because certain things are locked in, it gives me the freedom to like really go wild on a couple little things because I'm not stressed about figuring out everything else.
Right.
And then there's the directors that come to me and they really want me to like invent that world, and that's also fun because then I'm honestly sometimes a little surprised. I'm like, really? You just want, okay, you just trust, okay,
Right.
I'm gonna do it. But I did that for a short film last year that got into some festivals. I'm really proud of it. It's called Overtime. Is directed by this wonderful Australian man. And it just like, it was really nice filling in those details because it was like era agnostic. Like he didn't specify that it had to be current day. Obviously, because of the location we picked, there was some current day stuff in it, but it could have ranged anywhere from like, I want to say like the late 80s to like now, really. And so that was fun to do because it felt like I got to pick things in such a way where, how do I explain this? You can have the same feeling of a world and you can slide through different eras in your production design. And if you do it in such a way where it's like, it makes sense spatially, like linearly, like say you're like moving through like time and decades and eras of setback in a certain way, if you're following the narrative, then it really, it brings something to the table that like it's very subtle and you just don't expect it. It's nice. It's fun.
Yeah, do you prefer like having like your work cut out for you, like the director basically like itemizes everything, or do you prefer having like a creative freedom to like build that narrative for things?
These days, I like being able to build it. Like I like being able to like bounce stuff off with the director and like kind of like have that conversation. But these days, I do like building it. It really it depends, you know? Like what I've also realized is that...
God damn it.
No, you keep moving.
I've got to do better with this.
What do you want me to do?
What happened?
David, just try.
So
What do you
the camera goes off every like 15 minutes, 17 minutes.
Oh.
Because it's not a video camera, quote unquote. But yeah.
Where was I? Oh, what I realized? I'm on 5 powders right now. Calm down.
Right.
I'm
still hungover from when you and I drank.
I know.
It's okay.
It's been a day. Let's be
Taking
real.
L's.
Pop the pills. What I've realized is that there's a certain kind of like, especially now, it wasn't like this in the beginning, but over the last like year or two, something that's happened that's become very apparent to me is like the sort of projects that come my way are generally things where they already like what I do. And so it's less of a fight.
I like that.
Like I could, listen, you show me a photo of literally any style and I could do it for you. Like it's, you know, I mean, I make commercials that I don't show people all the time. Like real good at that commercial life. But, you know, like, I think that because of the work that I show, the things that I am proud of, like, people will see that and be like, oh, she's the right, like, vibe. They already kind of like the way that I do color, decoration, like, you know, the moves that I make in terms of scale. Like, they already like those things. And so it's kind of like, I'll take a look at, like, their reference stack for, like, what things that they already do like. Because I do like to have at least one image. Like, show me something that you like so I understand, like, where your head is at right now. And then based on that and like that, I think that kind of building something that like fits in that world, like that feels really nice to me.
Yeah. Do you like doing prefer doing like film stuff or like music related stuff?
Ooh, difficult.
Because I know when we first met you, you told us yesterday that was your first time doing PD for like a live band.
Yeah.
So how did you like that more, or do you like prefer like?
Y'all got too many cables. I hate that cable look. I'm like,
That
can I like
that.
tie up all those cables and put a little cable, you know, just like sort them and like, you know, I'm trying to put mats over them or something.
Yeah.
I will say this because this is a really interesting thing, right? And we were kind of talking about this yesterday, but like in COVID times, everybody kind of like randomly decided, like did it almost, I think, without even thinking about it, married like the live band aspect with the film aspect in a way that like nobody just really like thought that through. It's not that it's not inherently incompatible, but you have this right now specifically, you have a really interesting mix of like live events people working with film people. And bro, that shit is hilarious.
It's like a stark contrast to like, you know, usually we're doing music festivals and you don't have like, you know,
all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's different because like also like, you know, for me, like having produced a few of these things now, it's like y'all need time to rehearse.
Yeah. That's
like that needs to be built into the schedule, like stuff like that. And like every band is going to be different. And like, for example, like Ty really can sing, first of all.
Yeah.
The man's is talented. He's like such a vibe. I love his
Ty
whole
Dolla
band.
Sign. That's
They're
what what she's talking about,
yeah,
guys.
Ty.
Okay.
Ty Dolla Sign. But he could really sing, and like honestly, his whole band is like real cool. Like they're just, man, those guys are big. I would not fuck with them, but like they're just like, I don't know. It was a really cute situation. Like it was, and I think that one
Was that before or after us?
That was after.
Okay.
Yeah, but that one was interesting because that one was like, I think, the most expensive version of live band that I'd seen mixed with.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because it wasn't really like, they weren't really trying to go for like a tour look. It was like a tour look, but like then they like added really nice shit in.
Yeah, like a music video type.
Yeah.
Stuff. Gotcha.
That was really what it was. Is like they really tried to like turn it way more into a music video. And like, I don't know, I think it looks dope.
Yeah.
What's like the main hurdle, like doing an event, or what's the main hurdle with having film people work with live event people? Is it just that like they don't speak the same language, or there's a lot of issues that the other group doesn't even acknowledge as issues? Like how does that work exactly?
Yeah, it's basically all of that. And like, you know, for the most part, honestly, live events people are great because they work so hard and so fucking quick. But there's a difference in timeline. Like film people, like all of my film vendors, I've noticed this. I text them or I call them or whatever. If they answer me within the next like 15 minutes to an hour, like that, because that's just the pace of what you got to do it. If they're not responding immediately, like all of my prop houses, all of my rental, like all the gear, everything. And like even my PAs, like they know if they don't text me back within 15 minutes, that job's probably gone. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it be. You know what I mean? Like you can't be sitting on that text message for 6 hours.
Yeah.
But live events people, they're so quick at setting up, and also like the builders for sets for live shows. I like share a studio with a couple of them now.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I've seen that
They
shit.
do
It's
it, yo.
nuts.
They do it quick.
They do it quick and they do it really
Like
good.
stagehands, they're real coordinated. They already know where. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole
Bro,
thing.
the quick, methodical,
is.
thorough,
Right.
everything goes by without a hitch, man. It's perfect.
It's
Right.
crazy, you know. But then at the same time, because they're used to working with a different scale of prep time, they don't do that 30-minute turnaround for you when you first hit them up. It's gonna take a week.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's interesting.
I remember when I was on tour with Leon Bridges, and like,
Oh, double flex.
Wait,
nah, we opened up for Leon.
I
wasn't
love
so-
that man.
But we were on tour with Leon Bridges, me, Sego, and Kimani. Shout out Kimani. So we opened up. We were opener, and then after we got off, like the set for Leon's show was like he had a big L, a huge B. You know what I mean? And like he had a whole bunch of other stuff, and it's like, oh, they just quickly shuffled our little stuff up there and just set it up mad quick. But it was like a lot of just, it was very strategic. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, they already knew where I guess they look at a diagram, whatever. They know where to place things. It was really in something. It's really something.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I mean, because they have all that prep time and they think things out so carefully because they're going to be doing it the same way and they need to make sure that it's going to run like clockwork for the next like 6 months, year. Any venue you go to, it's going to be exactly the same.
Right.
You know, it's just different.
Right. With COVID, live performances and opportunities to like make money for musicians and artists have changed. Do you think? Do you think that shows and things are going to start to be more virtual? Like just like the live shows that we did, but they were live streaming. What do you think about that? What do y'all think about that?
I think that there are more opportunities to do that, but I don't think live shows are ever really going to go away. It's the same thing as a book. Like, sure, we got the Kindle and everybody, like, you know, I got a Kindle on my phone. Like, it's all good.
Right.
But, like, I still prefer books.
Right.
I want to touch the pages and,
Yeah.
like, turn them, you know? It
Yeah.
gives me a sense of accomplishment. But, like, I really fuck with, like, how there are some artists out there that are, like, a little bit more alt, and they've started to integrate stuff like Twitch. I think that's super fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, you know, even just like going on Instagram Live and like having sets on there, or like there's this one called Bands in Town that Jay Brecky was doing some stuff on, and Japanese Breakfast. Sorry. I realized I
Jay
explained
Brecky.
myself. I'm
Yeah,
catching
Jay
on.
Brecky.
I call her Jay Brecky, okay? It's fine.
Shout out Jay Brecky.
I know some of these words.
I know some of these words.
But yeah, no, it's been interesting to see how that really can augment, because especially a lot of smaller artists, like they ain't got a budget to be out here shooting like a music video or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Me.
Preach.
Exactly. Sometimes the streaming thing is like really like the best thing you can do. Mm-hmm. People like really fuck with that shit.
Yeah, man. Also, I don't know. I think that as soon as everyone's vaccinated, or as soon as we're back to like, you know,
I'm not getting
we know you're not getting vaccinated, you know, but as soon as
What's wrong with you?
Tuskegee, we got it.
Listen,
yeah.
we talk about it.
Okay,
Another
all right.
podcast.
Yeah, no. As soon as we're back to having some semblance of normalcy, I think the demand to go back to concerts and actually, you know, experience music. Because right now with the whole streaming thing, it's essentially like the hand job of concerts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's granted. I mean, I love shooting them, and you know, I get to see what the film world looks like. You know, which is awesome. But like we know what we really want. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
It's true.
dude, I'm sorry. I miss being able to like connect with an audience, man. Like, there's. Well, I don't know. Once you have that experience, you sort of get addicted to that experience, you know. And I'm sure like fans are like desperate to go back and see shows again.
Yeah.
Because it's been a year since it's been a year since we've been able to do anything.
Over a year now.
Yeah. So it's I think having the whole streaming thing is cool, but I don't think there's going to be a legitimate market for it once we're back to being people again. You know, not a big one anyway.
Right. That was gonna like kind of segue into my next question. What do you think production will look like in 10 years from now with the advent of augmented reality and virtual reality? How do you think production will change?
It's so I was actually literally talking about this 2 nights ago. There's a DP that I used to hire, and then he went back to school to get his fancy degree. Hey, Matt Smith, what's up?
Hey, shout out Matt Smith.
But he was talking about, and I've experienced this a little bit. So like, I think the closest thing I could say is that Virgil Abloh music video we just put out, the Serpent with V one. So like that one was actually like we never talked about the tech behind it, which like I'm actually really proud of, because like I don't really give a shit about the technology. We literally did that shit because it was just cheaper that way. But we shot maybe like a minute of film footage on 16, and then the rest of it was actually done in Unreal Engine, right? So that's like,
sick.
yeah,
That's pretty fucking tight.
But
So
like
wait,
look at it, and you can't tell. It doesn't look video gamey.
No.
Yeah, no,
you talking about for that commercial for the
This was the Virgil Abloh music video I just dropped.
Oh, snap.
For Serpent.
Yeah.
The one with the tree dude.
Yeah. Okay.
That shit was all Unreal Engine.
Wow.
I haven't seen it, but just conceptually.
crazy.
it's
What
fucking
are
tight.
you talking about? You are actually friends with me. How can you did?
I'm sorry, I haven't seen a project. First of all, this is the first time that I've seen. I mean, this is basically the first time that I've seen you since Thanksgiving.
Yesterday?
No, that was last week because this is being
Expose him.
Wait.
Shit was last. It was literally 12 hours ago. 24
Expose
hours ago.
him.
No, I'm talking like as far as everyone else is concerned, we shot this a week after. Yeah, the other. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, we played the time game.
Yeah, thank you.
We were talking about virtual.
Right.
Okay.
So, what I think it does, it's never going to. I feel really strongly about this. It's never going to replace live action like production, but it will make certain things much easier. I think there's something magical about making a set and having the people there. There's something that happens with like the crew and the energy and the actors.
Right.
Like half of the time when I do certain production design elements, I don't need to have maybe like half the room. I do that because everybody who's not me needs to be in the world and see it and understand it. It changes how they think about it and how they frame it and how they act in it.
Right.
You know, I'm almost building that for them, even though we probably won't see 90% of that shit. It's there though.
Right.
But like, you know, I think that what VR and what AR can do is that it gives people, especially like a lot of film crews, it helps you shortcut and understand some of the post-production process because they're very similar things.
Right.
So like my favorite thing to do is every single time I finish a set, I go on Instagram and I find the filter that looks like my set. I'm like,
Oh, that's tight.
it's there somewhere. Sorry, I keep fucking it up. But yeah, no, I think that it'll continue to augment the process, and I think that the more we keep going, the more filmmakers become smart about the tech that they're using, and they start to integrate it in their process. And I think that it helps a lot, and I think it makes things quicker. I think it changes how we spend our money. I think it also helps us create things that, like, you know, some things would be not impossible, but like you'd have to like just trick it a whole different way to be able to shoot certain angles or like shoot different scales and things like that. You can start to build things that are a little bit more unreal.
Right.
You know, things that are like really more
Unreal
it's like,
Engine.
Exactly.
Shameless plug.
Oh, shit is tight though. They almost sponsored us. I was like,
Really?
listen.
Hey, Unreal Engine, y'all
Listen.
sponsor my girl Ava, right?
Listen. But yeah, no, I think that it gives you tools. I don't think it replaces it though. I
Okay.
think I've sat in enough. I used to like work for Sundance. Like I did a lot of like of the new friend.
You got a resume. Resume.
Why you think I look tired all the time? I just don't be stopping. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, oh, more work? Cool. Let me do that too. That sounds cool. I want to do that too.
Sleep? What's that?
But yeah, I screened a lot of VR. Like I was like part of like the curation team. And I also have a lot of friends that make it. And just sitting through those headsets, like it's the same thing as like the live concerts. You're never going to get that. No matter how good it gets, no matter how immersive it is, even if
Right.
you're able to touch physical things that are also existing in the VR headset, it's never going to be the same.
Right. That kind of ties into the next question I was going to ask. Is like, what do you think is lost in virtual experience? Is it like energy? What is it? It's
everything, dude.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's gonna sound shitty.
No, go ahead.
Say it.
No, I mean, no, that's literally it, man. Just everything. Okay? I think we've all experienced crowds and experienced situations enough, you know, to know like how important it is for something to feel organic.
Right.
You know? And granted, like I'm not against like, you know, VR tech and you know, augmented reality and stuff like that. That shit's fucking tight. Like I love, you know. Even when fucking like Pokemon Go first came out or whatever, that was like the first like proper augmented reality experience that I'd ever had, and I was like, this is fucking cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd love to see what AR is doing, like how crowds are interacting with us when we're on stage. You know, 25 years from now, like that would be tight. But no, it just doesn't feel the same, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's facts. I feel you. Okay, I'm gonna ask. I have like, I guess it's a segment now, just asking random questions.
Let's go.
Things that aren't like related to music. So, let's see. Would you rather win the lotto or live 200 years? I'll start. I think I would just rather win the lotto. Living 200 years just sounds so exhausting.
I'm tired already.
Right? It's like I'm already like, I have to wake up.
And then all your friends die? Is everybody else living 200 years?
Exactly.
Am I supposed to find whole new friends at the age of 90? Right. Are you kidding? Absolutely not.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, being youthful for 200 years, it would be lit, too.
But that's the thing. You didn't put no parameters on it.
Okay. Be youthful for 200 years.
So am I like 22 for 200 years?
Whatever age you choose would be.
I got the body of a 22-year-old till I'm 200 years old.
That's pretty sick.
I mean,
I'm picking 200 years every time. Like, if I could be immortal, I'd be immortal, bro. Like,
nah. Then the you know, eventually you're gonna be in space, drifting around because the sun's gonna blow up the Earth. And,
okay,
like, it's gonna be like
I will off myself before thermal expansion gets to the point where we're, you know, like it'll be fine. Not thermal expansion, but never mind.
No, I got you. I understand. Let's see. Have you ever gone to the movies or dinner by yourself?
I do that shit all the time.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Who asked this question? Like
Instagram,
dude, all the time, man.
Yeah.
No, it's important. Also, I feel like when I go to the movies, there are a lot of movies that I am super interested in that I don't have any friends, or I don't have many friends that would be interested in that. You know what I'm saying? Like when who was that? Eddie Redmayne, when he made the Danish Girl, I was just like, yeah, this is about a Victorian transsexual. Like this is a Victorian transgender woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I love the director. I love the movie, or I love the main actor anyway. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go check this out. None of my friends are gonna want to go, so fuck it, man.
It's like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna go see that movie.
I also just really fucking like being in the theater alone.
It's a vibe too. Man. Yeah, it's a thing too. I like that.
You know, like, so I was telling you this also last night, but so my favorite thing to do pre-COVID, and I miss this so much, is to roll up to the Lemley midnight screening on like a Thursday night, and that theater be empty.
Yes.
My ass and the big screen. I could sit wherever I want. I could switch seats. I could put my legs up. I could eat a whole ass bucket of popcorn. Ain't anybody judging me.
Right.
And it is just like the most wonderful thing.
Like I miss the smell of the theaters, man. I just miss the smell of popcorn, the smell of just
that
like
I do not miss. It's like cornflakes and feet.
Listen, I like that smell.
It's pretty bad.
Look, it's not the best smell, but it's just like it's like home. You know what it is, man. It's just like
Dude, all my favorite movie theaters are the shittiest possible movie theaters, man. Like
Military Circle Mall.
Yo, Military Circle Mall bust. That shit is. Bro, no, did you ever go to, deep dive. You ever go to Movies 10, like in Chesapeake, like a long time? Bruh, popcorn, always still. Hot dogs, disgusting. I ate like 3 of them bitches every time I went. Dude, it's like eating a 7-Eleven hot dog, but worse. Yeah. It's like eating an elementary school hot dog, man. Like a cafeteria lunch, like that kind of hot dog.
For viewers and listeners who don't know,
$5,
like
man.
Military Circle Mall is it's a mall in the 757 in Norfolk off Military Highway.
Yeah.
And it's like notoriously known for like just people just talking hella loud in the movie theater. But on the upside, the tickets were like $5.50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Shout out to 757. Military Circle Mall.
Hey.
Yeah. Let's see. How much anime do you watch? Dan?
None. You guys are all fucking nerds.
It's like I only watch Pokemon. That's it.
Do you really not?
No, dude, I totally watch.
Okay, because
Yeah,
I was like, I'm
like-
pretty sure you lying right now.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
looking at your face. I'm pretty sure you lying right now.
Like, look at your arm right now.
I know, right? I'm like,
You have what? Princess Mononoke tattooed on your forearm.
Yeah,
Right?
no.
dead ass, really?
Right.
Yeah, man. Wait, have you not seen it?
Yeah.
Listen,
That's hilarious. I
I
wish I
did
could like
see
zoom
it.
in on that.
I don't remember that shit for shit. But
Do
I
you
did
watch
see
anime,
it.
Ava?
Not since I was like 12.
Oh wow, we're children.
Mm-hmm.
We're not mature. I watch a ton of anime. I'm a huge anime. I'm not gonna say I'm a weeb, but like I watch a lot of anime. Yeah, so I'm wearing an anime shirt right now. So
Get it.
there you go, Naruto. Let's see what else we got. What's your favorite hip hop sample?
Anything Dilla?
Facts.
But
Facts.
what if you took Dilla off the table?
Maybe some Kanye.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Diamonds Are Forever is one of my favorites.
Oh, that's fire.
Uh,
I like Players by SV Slum Village. Players.
Damn,
one of
that's
my
a big
favorite.
question, man. I got a lot of favorite. Like, I got a lot of samples that I really, really love. I mean, like the classic Izzy Brothers situation, Between the Sheets.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was in like 30 songs.
Yeah.
But most importantly, Big Papa.
Yeah. I was just
that's the
thinking that
business.
too. Yeah.
Damn, yeah, there's a shit ton of them, man.
Yeah. Ever do you listen to hip hop or?
I do, but I don't ever feel like I know it well enough to like dissect it like that.
feel
Like
you.
I know what I like, and there's like certain albums that I'll just like that's just on repeat.
What's your favorite genre?
I don't really have a favorite genre.
Yeah,
I
you can't
listen
answer
to
that
all of
question,
them.
man. It's a-
What do you find yourself listening to most? What genre of music do
Okay.
you find yourself listening to most?
So here's the thing.
I don't listen to music.
I was not attempting to do this. This is just something that just happened.
Okay.
I started listening to Pop Smoke the day after he died,
Okay.
and I just like could not stop.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the
I
thing
get
too.
that,
like
man.
at first, I didn't even really.
Damn, R.I.P. man.
Yeah.
I cannot stop.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
it is, man. It is.
Dude, and initially, like, I hated how much I loved it. Actually, no, yeah, Henny's the one that put me on.
For real?
And yeah,
Henny.
yeah. Shout out to Henny, man. Henny put me on to Pop Smoke. I don't remember. I think, and he just played some on his phone. He was like, "Hey, yeah, you heard this? Yeah, New York, nigga, New York going the fuck up to this right now."
that's that.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm
That's
just
what it
like,
sounds like too. Yeah, shout
and
out
it was
Henny.
on like shitty iPhone speakers, so I couldn't really understand
yeah.
why. Like, I couldn't really hear the music for it. I was just like, "Oh, this sounds like trash." But then I heard it on speakers, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, I was like, I think I was like working out. At first, I was listening to DMX.
Oh, that
because-
makes sense actually. That transition, okay.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what you're doing when you work out. You listen to DMX. And then like
You doing? You got muscles. You listen. To music.
it's a thing. Nah, but and then like I guess it was on you know how it plays things that are similar. And Pop Smoke came up. I was like, oh, what's this? I think it was like 50 Cent was on it too. Feature 50 Cent. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
kind of lit.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So
Just keep on. I mean, it was just like I felt the same way about like Good Kid, Mad City was on repeat for like a hot minute, but I didn't. I really really fucked with it, but I didn't like have that like inability to turn it off of loop.
Yeah.
Right.
But like How to Pimp a Butterfly, that shit was on repeat for like a year. I think I did like 3 projects to that that album, just
To
like
Pimp a
over and
Butterfly
over.
is my favorite rap album of all time.
So
yeah,
yes,
I agree. That or for me, Slum Village, fantastic album too. That's probably my favorite. But that's definitely my top 5 favorite hip hop albums. So.
Yeah, man. First time I heard "This Dick Ain't Free," I was just like, I was just like, "Yo, you figured it out, bro. Like you wrote the perfect song. I don't know what to tell you."
Yeah.
And it felt like, I was listening to bop for real, man. It was like the
Yeah,
whole, like Cats on
heavy
it.
jazz
Yeah,
influences on that
yeah.
drum, man. Terrence Martin was up there. Robert Glass there.
Yeah,
Robert
man.
Glass was up there. Thundercats
Cat,
up there.
everybody. So yeah, man.
yeah,
that was
it's
it
a
was,
thing.
It was phenomenal.
it
It's
really
the thing.
is. It's just like sometimes an album to me, like it hits, even though I don't really know all that much about music, like it hits. I understand it hit the culture at exactly the right time, doing exactly the right things. with exactly the right amount of like rage.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like that's something you can't predict. It just had to happen. It's just
It was
like
organic. It was so organic.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like he just
The fact that nigga we gonna be all right
Yeah.
gets chanted at every party, bro. During the BLM protest, man. Yo, that shit was wild, man. Like I don't know. Did you go to any protests or whatever?
No,
Dude, I went and all I heard the entire 6 hours that I was there was just "To Pimp a Butterfly" on repeat. And everyone said, "Nigga, we gonna be all right."
That's funny,
Bro, it was nuts, man. And I mean, and it wasn't like we were like breaking windows and shit. It was a peaceful protest, but it was
I want to break windows. Let me stop.
But no, it was just like a gangly, lively
Yeah.
protest, and everyone was,
It was a vibe, man.
going up to nigga, we gonna be all right.
Yeah.
What a cultural moment, man.
Right.
For real.
Right.
I wonder how it feels to affect culture like that, man. That's got to be wild.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, granted, like the reason why that was happening was like shitty. You know why that's still going on, right? Even now. But yeah, coming together like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely,
It's
man.
definitely dope. I'll ask one more. What is your favorite season? And is this the season you feel the most creative in? I'll start with you, Ava.
Well, we live in LA. There's not really
There's always summer.
Yeah.
Right. Well, but we're all from East Coast, so there's seasons there.
Okay, so on the East Coast, 90% of the reason I moved to LA, because I didn't know back then that I wanted to be in the creative industry. I didn't know that didn't exist on the East Coast. But
You didn't want to be what?
I didn't know that I wanted to live on the West Coast because of the creative industry. Like now that's why I'm still here.
Yeah.
But dead ass, I'm just not alive from like October to like March
Really?
On the East Coast.
on the East Coast.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's wild.
I'm
I'm
just
not gonna
slow.
lie. Yeah, it's a thing.
That's-
I mean, like
That's when I feel the most creative, man.
in the cold.
Yeah, no, autumn's my favorite season. Winter
can
is
see
a
that.
very close second. So it's, dude, no, for the food specifically, and it just, bruh, dude, I make the best winter stews, man.
Yeah, well, what you made yesterday? Oh my
Bust down,
lord,
man.
that thing is.
I'm so mad that though you did not cook more.
Yeah,
It was so good.
I'm
man.
used to cooking for like 2 people, so yeah, there was no leftovers, man. I'm
There's
sorry.
none.
Just so y'all
Shoot,
know,
so
Dan
good.
is like I think I said it on the.
I get by.
Yeah, he's a fire cook.
He
Fire
is.
cook.
Because the last time I cooked for Ava, she took all my leftover collard greens, and I thought she was joking.
I
And then she
wasn't.
just, bruh, she was like, "Oh no, I'm just gonna take all the collard greens. Don't worry about it." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, no, that's cool, whatever." I go to the bathroom. I come back and I see the back of Ava's hair leaving my fucking door, and Shorty is holding. Like I look out my window, and not even. She didn't even have the sense to put it in a tub. She left with a big Ziploc bag full of loose collard greens. Yo,
Did that have juice in it too,
bro, this shit was juicy as fuck, man. Like,
Yo,
I was so upset. Dude, I was so pissed, man.
that's hilarious.
I love greens. He already cooked them, and I was just not. I was just
Yo.
like noink.
Dude, that was like my favorite thing that I made.
It was
Thanksgiving.
delicious. I could attest. I ate all of it.
I made some bussin' empanadas that day too.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Empanadas were killing.
I get
That's
it.
some
You're
shit.
Chef Boyardee. You can cook. All right.
What's your favorite thing to cook, Max? Shrimp Alfredo.
I like the grill.
Yeah.
I like the grill.
You a grill man?
Yeah.
You and Justin?
I'll fuck up some burgers and some steak.
You make a solid steak, man.
Man,
I'm not gonna
come
lie.
on, bro.
Make
That
a
shit.
solid steak.
Woo. Matter of fact, I might grill when I get back.
Like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Slick.
But to answer the question, I think my favorite season is spring. If I'm on the East Coast, spring. I like the smell of just new leaves, new life. The weather's getting better, nice and warm. It's like a feeling of just hope. You know what I mean?
You sound so bright right now. I'm like, are you 12? Where's all this hope coming
Nah,
from?
just like just.
How is the world not beating you down yet?
Right.
man?
No.
Look
it
at
has,
me and
it
Dan. We
has.
out here like wearing black, all like.
Like, I'm not even wearing shoes right now. Like,
Nah, but I'm
Come
just
on,
talking. I think it's like a. Oh my god, what's the word when you feel like reminiscent of something of your childhood?
nostalgia.
Yeah, it's nostalgic of just like being in school, like grade school. And just
Why
like,
did you like school?
No, I hated it. But when
Why do you want to go back? What
no,
is
I don't.
happening?
I'm saying like when spring came around, I was like, oh, school's almost over. School's
yeah.
almost over.
I got you.
Weather's better. You know what I'm saying? So it's not too hot. In Virginia, summers are like, oh, we're in hell, especially with the humidity. But like spring is just right. It's not too hot yet. But the only thing is just the pollen. You know, other than that, yeah. I think the season I'm most creative in is probably like fall or winter. You know what I mean? Summertime, I'm like, okay, I want to be outside. I want to be.
I will say this, and this is something that I've never had anywhere else. I feel like I've traveled a lot, just haven't had anywhere else. DC summers are lit.
Oh yeah.
Like when it is hot as fuck during the day, but then it cools down, and by 8 p.m., the entire city is on a rooftop dancing.
Yeah, I do.
Need to go, man.
It's a thing. I love summer nights.
Bruh.
I love summer nights, man. Especially
Summer
in VA.
Yes, and also
Yeah.
some of the best music. Dead ass. Like there's a reason why like Henny's from there, and also Kaz is from there.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm from
shout
there.
Shout out Henny, shout out Kaz.
Right. Hi, Kaz.
Yeah.
But like there's a reason, right? Like that music scene I'm sorry. There's no better live DJs, period. They're all in DC. I'm sorry. They just all there.
I'd say New York, but
Nah, I've been to those parties. They're in DC.
Oh damn.
Listen, you be up on a rooftop and it's all like, and everybody's actually dancing, but it's not like whack music. It's actually good. And like, you know, sometimes you get into like a little old school situation and, you know, they be playing go-go and shit and you're just like,
Dude, I miss good go-go, man. I haven't heard like
Yeah.
good go-go in a long time.
Yeah.
Honestly, like since I was in college in Virginia, man. Because when I went to Norfolk State before I went to ODU and met Max and Sego, like so much of the population, like the school population anyways, was from DC. Like we had a lot of cats from, you know, like New Orleans and VI and stuff like that, but like a shit ton of cats were from DC, so there was so much go-go. And like half the songs that we played in the band were from like, you know, DC artists and stuff like that. It was kind of wild. Good times, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. It's like some very sick artists that have come from DC.
I mean, yeah. I
Yo,
love that.
Kali Uchis from DC.
Oh.
Yeah, she's I believe she's Colombian.
I'm still mad at her from cutting me from the album.
Shout out.
I love you, but I'm still mad at you, Kali.
Oh man.
But yeah, there's a real ass scene there. I really love it.
Yeah, what season do you feel the most creative? Is it? I guess it will be whatever season LA is, huh? What
I
what
function
is this?
very well in LA.
Yeah. It took when we first moved here. I just moved here. This is probably a year and a half now. It's going on 2 years, and like it took me a while. Like I found out like there's a wildfire season here, and there's like it was a huge wildfire just a few months ago, right? Mm-hmm. Like yeah. So but yeah, the weather here is phenomenal. I love the weather here. It's like spring, summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do y'all think you would live here if it wasn't for the industry?
Probably not.
No, definitely.
Probably not.
I don't think I would have stayed here.
Yeah.
I would have lived here. I don't know that I would still be here, and knowing that I probably will not leave for like another little minute.
Sure. No, that makes sense. Because like, honestly, it's so expensive here that it's hard to justify being here if I can't, like, if I'm not working here. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, that being said, I left, like, within the first 3 months of me living here, I'd done more for my career in LA than I had in the previous 10 years in Virginia.
Exactly.
Like, that's
another exactly.
like,
yeah, facts.
Like, no exaggeration.
Facts.
Dude, like, in the matter of fact, in the first month that I lived here, I'd been listening to Shantae Khan since I was in like early college, late high school.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? Within the first few weeks of me living here, I was in a session with Shantae Khan.
No,
no.
We were in me and Dan came to LA for like about good 2 weeks just to network and stuff before we even moved here. Mm-hmm. We did a session with Shantae again. Remember that?
Yeah.
So it's just like, yo, there's definitely opportunity here. And honestly, no, I don't think I would be here. Well, I don't know. It's kind of lit out here. But if it wasn't for the industry, but it's just like, I have the saying, it's just like a gold miner, they're not going to be looking for gold and like at the beach. You know what I'm saying? They go where they find gold, which is the mountains. For artists and musicians, producers, LA would be considered the mountains.
Sure. I mean, like where else can you go where, you know, you just go to a session real quick to lay down some keys for somebody and you accidentally end up like in a whole session for 3 hours with Ari Lennox. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
right,
dude. Like, and that was like the first 6 months of me being here.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck does that happen? Like, you can't do that in VA.
It's
man.
a thing, bro.
So yeah, I feel like I have to stay here, man.
Yeah. And I was gonna ask you, so in the next, you plan on staying for the next 10 years, right? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Are you plan on still doing production design, or I know you mentioned
Cushy ass 9 to 5, man.
Right.
Well,
Because how old are you, Ava?
I'm 31.
We're the same age. No, we're the same age.
I'm like,
When's your birthday? You a Virgo?
December 28th.
Oh, okay.
Capricorn.
You just turned 31. You're a baby. It's
I'm
okay.
also like, so old.
I'm still in my 20s, yo.
Shut up. Every year my PAs get younger.
No.
Every year. Oh my God. Dead ass. I used to have this assistant who's like amazing. Love him. I didn't realize he was so young. And I was like, you know, we were all kicking it. It was like a couple of us and we were friends before he like assisted me that one time. Mm-hmm. But this I was like, oh, just let's meet at this bar. It's like down the street from like where I live. It's whatever.
Bendito.
Homeboy could not go to the bar.
Damn.
I was like, I am old as shit.
No.
Is
you're
this
not
inappropriate for us to be hanging out?
That's it. Bendito, man. He's about to get me too.
Come on.
No.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
Oh man.
That's terrifying.
But to answer your question, I have been working really hard the last few years to kind of like build my client base in New York. So like I have a few regulars out there, and like it's just been a thing that I've been trying to like keep regular. Like I try to go out there and, you know, at least work out there like at least a month out of the year.
Yeah.
And just like slowly I want to make it so that I'm able to be more bi-coastal and like not just tied to LA.
Yeah.
And then also like eventually the goal is to be able to like really move hard into like the feature film world and just being able to like shoot in Europe and in Asia and stuff like that, and like have the split between like LA and New York kind of be my home base still.
I feel you. What about you, Dan? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? You see yourself still here in LA? What, producing or?
It depends, honestly. I mean, like I assume that I'll still be producing and stuff like that, and hopefully composing. That's definitely something I want to get way more comfortable with over the years. But as far as like location, I don't know. I kind of like how it feels to be bi-coastal, just because I love being in LA just for what the work scene's like. The music scene is fantastic. You know, you meet a bunch of people by accident. You know,
Right.
But also culturally, I just love the East Coast so much. Like
Facts.
the DMV area and New York in particular, it just feels. I don't know. It just feels more like home to me.
Yeah.
And
I feel like it feels like more authentic.
Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, if we're being completely honest, you know, I don't want to say that there's like an air of fakeness in LA, because that's not necessarily what it is. I'm not trying to burn any bridges, but no, because it's not that I don't enjoy LA, because I like LA. You know? But I just can't see myself.
Just an air of flakeness.
It's LA is kind of cap. It's definitely cap sometimes, man.
Let's keep it on.
Keep it hot. LA cap is fuck.
Right.
It just run on. Listen, it took me a second to adjust.
Yeah, it was a culture shock, man, for sure.
But I will say this, the reason I love LA so much is this is the place where you can walk up to any factory, any manufacturing facility. They're all here. Steel, aerospace, cars, like literally all that. You could walk up and meet the owner of that place, and that man will take time and take you on a tour of the place and shake your hand.
Nice.
Like anything. I'm talking any industry, any piece of anything. It all comes through here.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
that is amazing. I love that all of my vendors, all of my prop houses, and some of them are like big ass businesses. I don't know why the fuck they give a shit about my tiny little contract. It's like $2,000. But they take the time and they like, you know what I mean? This is one of the last towns on earth where like, this is still crazy to me. Multi-million-dollar deals are made on a handshake.
That's crazy to me, man.
Isn't that insane?
That's wild.
Like
That's funny. I would think that it would be a little bit more like, you know what I'm saying, like official paperwork, and
I mean, some things
lawyers
do have to be like that, but like
I've signed a contract for $1,000 before, so like that's crazy to me. like I have been like, okay, dotted line, I'm getting one stack for this,
Right.
like, you know.
bro,
I've had to sign a do W-2 back in
you
back in
gotta
the 757.
suss the situation is what I'm gonna say. Like you gotta suss the situation. Like for example, like I have clients that I've had for many years, and so when they refer me somebody and that production company is like whatever, like, you know, and they're having, you know, this side or the other, if I can tell that they're trustworthy based on like our connections and stuff like that and what they've done in the past and who else they've worked with, if they like pass the vets and stuff, like it's very common that I'll put down like a huge chunk of change before, like way ahead of the job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I know they're gonna pay me. Like if you don't fucking pay me, like I will me too your ass.
Oh damn.
I'm saying, bruh, dead ass. Like the amount of money that I put down on like Netflix jobs, for example, like that shit is, I front all of that money.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
got many freaking flyer miles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Netflix is right here. It's close.
I'm saying it's like it's one of the last places on earth where like that is a thing, and like people actually do have to, like, your reputation is everything. It's like the last place on earth where like you do that and it works.
And another thing I've noticed is like everyone knows everyone.
Yeah,
It's a very
It's a
like
small world here, man.
especially just in the music industry. From what I can see, it's just like, you know, everyone knows everyone. So like, you know, take that how you want to take it, but
No, you gotta tread lightly, man.
Yeah.
and not be a dick. No, because remember when we were cutting I want to be vague. We were cutting that one song for Masego, and there was like, you know, like I was working on the melody and stuff like that, and we were getting a bunch of different producers to work on the actual beat for the song. And there was like one guy who just, first of all, like no one invited this cat for real. Like, and
yeah, I know exactly.
you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
well, so like I mean,
name names, name drop.
no,
Look,
He just said you gotta tread lightly.
yeah, no. But the thing, essentially, what I'm trying to say is like you have to protect yourself, and also like not be a dick. Cause I don't know. So essentially, what happened was this cat, we're all of us are working on the song and stuff like that, and we're getting, you know, sort of like the best pieces from everybody. Or really, it's at this point, it's more of like a competition to see whose version of the song is going to get used.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which happens often. You know, it's like, well, here's the reference track. Here's what the melody's going to be like. Make some drums, do your sound design, whatever the fuck. And we're just going to pick the one that works the best.
I mean, SD.
Yeah. So like this one cat who no one invited, like pulls up on the session with one of his friends, and we're like, I mean, okay, whatever. And he starts working on the track. And again, I have no idea who this cat is. I don't know where he came from. I don't know how he found out about the situation.
Right.
And he was under the impression that we used his version of the beat or his like drums for it, and then like kind of threatened to throw a cease and desist on the release of the track because he didn't get like cut in on the publishing. And I'm just like, no one used your work.
Yeah, it's just like, what are you?
We don't even
and
know
that's
you.
That's the stuff I'm talking about. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's like weirdo shit here sometimes. It's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're not even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's happened to me like on or like where I had to give up, you know, some of my publishing so that they don't like halt the entire
And
project.
that's bullshit.
It is bullshit, man. And that's happened on more than one occasion. And I've been here for a year, you know what I'm saying? But like you just
Yeah.
and now no one wants to work with him anymore ever again, man. So
Yeah.
that's like
It was at that moment he knew.
yeah, and I'm like,
He
bro,
found
you want to get like blackballed over 5%, bro? Like that's what we're doing
Right.
off of 5%.
Right.
You want to get blackballed?
But then it's also,
Like,
but it's
come on,
also like a catch
22.
a catch 22. So say if, you know, I don't know, maybe a different scenario, and you're in the right, but everyone else thinks you're in the wrong, and then you
Sure.
get blackballed for being in the right. You
Yeah,
know
no,
what
I mean,
So-
granted, like, no, you absolutely have to protect yourself and stuff because a lot of times people are gonna try, especially if you're new or you're like little guy or you don't have proper management and stuff like that. Like
Right.
cats are gonna try to get over on you, you know, just because they have a bigger name. And a lot of times, just having the bigger name means that you're gonna be entitled to way more of a cut of a song or of a project
Right.
or whatever. So you have to be like really adamant about standing up for the work that you did.
Exactly.
But if you did not do work and you try to play it off as if you did do work,
Right.
like I'm just not gonna work with you anymore.
Yeah,
Man.
it's like
because I would have been down to work with this cat later on whatever other project, you know, just off of I met you before,
right.
But now I'm just like, if I see him, like, you know, I'm not gonna like kick his ass or anything. I'm just gonna be
I
like,
might for you.
I'm just gonna be like,
welcome.
Like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to.
Yeah, that's right.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What's pub? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Publishing, by the way, for people who are listening. Yeah.
Wait, what?
No, just to
Pub is
listen.
publishing?
Yeah,
Yes,
for cats who are
Okay.
listening. Yeah.
So like I think over the years, again, not just watching from the outside what y'all do, it's like it's always been really interesting to me, like listening to the way you guys talk about it, because y'all's flow, even though it's so close to mine, the timeline of it is different, the way that you guys are presented is different, and like I think that's something that's surprising to me is like there are certain producers that are starting to like really have their own thing. Like I don't know if y'all noticed, like the Kenny Beats, like Denzel Curry situation, like that. I don't know that that's really been like such a thing before. That is new, right?
You're talking about The Cave?
Yeah.
Or,
No. Sorry, they put out an album together. Like it was like
both
of their names were on it.
Yeah.
I think it was me. It was you went too. We were at Kenny Beats, The Cave, and he played it for us. It was
that shit was nuts.
Fire.
Denzel.
I think Denzel Curry. Shout out Denzel.
Shout out
Curry.
Denzel, man.
Denzel
Cool
Curry is one of my favorite rappers, and he's like in anime just like me too. And he's like, oh,
He's so serious. I love how serious he is.
He's not serious,
but
he's
I feel
hilarious.
like when he put on his Denzel Curry face.
Oh yeah.
Like sometimes when I'm like bugging out or whatever, I put on my Denzel Curry face. I'm like. Like there's this one photo of him on the internet where he's just like, and he's like in this like ninja stance. I don't know how else to describe it. And I'm like, that's how I want to be at all times.
Yeah, Denzel Curry's dope, bro.
Yo, he's a goofball,
he's solid.
And he's like the most metal rapper, man. He's like,
Right.
dude, on some like Death Grips type shit, man. Like Denzel Curry is metal as fuck, man.
He got
Yeah.
them bars though.
He does,
like,
man.
He can rap his
Absolutely.
ass off. Like, he's one of my top favorite rappers.
And he's like young as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
How old is he?
Bro, he's like what, 23, 24?
No
Like,
way.
He's not.
24.
No,
He's young.
No.
Look
I
that
gotta
shit
look
up.
it
He's young.
How old is Denzel Curry?
How old is Denzel Curry?
Whose phone gonna get it quick though?
Denzel Curry is 26 years old.
Okay, he's 26.
yeah.
Still.
Come on.
I'm like, wait a minute.
All the years are
Just
running
became
together.
old enough to rent a car without the underage surcharge.
Facts.
Bro, come on.
Yeah.
He's young to be like, to have that kind of like voice and that sort of like conviction of
Yeah.
style and tone. Like,
Yeah.
No,
Man's-
his sound is way more mature than it should.
Yeah.
be.
Right.
he's a
And I'm
master.
talking about like, you know, like 3 years ago, Denzel Curry, like at the age of 23, like there was
He
his
was
shows
already
were
in.
nuts.
Right.
Yeah, because we were on tour in Australia a couple years ago.
That's where we met him.
And yeah, that's where I met him. And like I was watching the show from side stage, and like the way he controls a crowd is nuts, man.
Yeah.
Like it's like almost like Freddie Mercury level nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like it's wild.
Yeah.
And he's got range.
Yeah.
I think that's like what I really fuck with when it comes to like hip hop. Like just there's artists out there that really have like a very like strange range. Like you could really do anything and like it could be a weird as shit.
Versatility. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Very
you know, you
versatile.
could bring in like all different kinds of references and things like that, and it never really strays off of like how powerful it is. Like
Right.
it doesn't distract. It's not like a gimmick, you know.
I feel you. Yeah, man. Shout out to Denzel Curry, man. That's I'm trying to get him up here. Get on Lobby Cola. Anyways, yeah, man. I'm gonna wrap it up because
Have we
Yeah.
been talking forever?
not forever, but I do have to wake up super duper early. I have a 7:00 flight tomorrow morning, so
Ew, don't go to sleep, man. It's only 10 o'clock. Just stay up.
I hate plain sleep. I hate it.
Me too.
It's trash. But yeah, so follow us on Instagram. Follow Ava at Ava Cheddar.
Eva Cheddar.
Eva Cheddar. I'll put it right on there.
Wait. Oh no.
Tag it. You gonna tag it? Is that what you mean?
No, I
Said like
usually,
and subscribe
yeah, I'll put it. Yeah. Follow Dan at
at NSYNC Hottie 69.
at Dan _the_ Manimal. Still hasn't changed it. Follow me at Maxwell _ Sensei. Follow the Lobby Call podcast page at Lobby Call Podcast. And I post a lot of information, a lot of funny clips up there. Merch probably coming soon. So yeah, follow that page. And that's been a wrap.